friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. Heart to heart, keep your faith. You have to keep faith. In everything that you go through, there has to be some faith in order to help you to get through it. I know a lot of times we get into situations where things happen, things seem a little uncomfortable, so it's hard to keep that same faith that we had when things are going good, but it's so important that we keep it during the times when it's not going the way we plan or the way that's ideal for us. Those are the times that God just needs you to pull on him a little bit stronger. If it's always going your way, if things are always calm and quiet and easy going, we won't have to pull on God. We won't have to pull on Jesus because, hey, everything's going well. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. And sometimes we may not even say that. So it's so important that the times when things are a little shaken up, things are a little uneasy, we are going through something that we did not plan for, we did not want to go through, or we did not see coming. Those are the times that we have to lean on God a lot stronger, a lot harder than we was before. And it's okay. It does not make you weak. It does not make you a failure. And if you're anything like me, you really have to say these things to yourself, because if you are negative to yourself, if you find a reason to tear yourself down, you need to be talking positive to yourself, and you need to remind yourself that just because you need God or just because you're calling on Jesus and you can't see the end of the tunnel, you feel like you are in a dark path and you feel like the answer is not coming up. It's like no matter what you try, you just can't seem to figure out what the right answer is, which way is the right way, which way is the wrong way. That does not mean that you're a failure or that you should be disappointed, because a lot of times God has us in those spaces where we have to have a little bit more faith. We have to have a little bit more patience. We have to have a little bit more trust. And if every time we called on him, he immediately showed up, then we would have no reason to have patience. We would have no reason to push out more faith or push out more trust or to hold on a little bit longer to not get weary, because every time that we call or every time that we ask, he's going to enable us by giving us exactly what we want when we say we want it. And that is not the way of life. No matter what we go through, you're always going to run into some hard times. So God is just like our natural fathers, just like our natural mothers, where I know that I have what you want or what you need, but sometimes you have to give a little bit of tough love. Sometimes you have to say, no, not right now. Sometimes you have to say, you have to work for this to get it. And because imagine if your parents just gave you everything that you wanted growing up. Once you become an adult, you will be a mess. You will think that the world owes you something. You would think that you don't have to work. You would think that you don't have to put yourself out there. You would think that things would just flow to you naturally because your parents always did that for you. That's why it's a hindrance whenever we as parents decide that we want to protect our kids from the world. And what we do is we create the world inside of the home. That way they don't have to go outside to experience life. We want to give them everything. We want to give them all their first experiences. We want to take them on all the trips that they want. We want to buy them everything that they want. We want to do everything we can to keep them pure, to keep them holy, to keep them in line, to keep them in love with us, to keep them, focused on just being a child and things like that. And then they grow up and they take a total opposite way of life. They grow up and they're in trouble with the law. They're on substances. They're, mistreating their children, neglecting their children, mistreating their spouses and all kinds of things. And you're thinking, I didn't raise you this way. And there's a lot of times parents will say that. You wasn't raised like this. Like you wasn't raised to beg somebody to take care of you. You wasn't raised to struggle. You wasn't raised to just have a I don't care type of life. You were raised in happiness and joy, and you had everything that you needed. But we really didn't get them everything that they needed if we were enabling them their whole lives. And, they were taken care of in that moment because they was underneath our wings. But that's not true love when you think about that this individual is going to grow up one day and move out of the home one day and have their own family one day and have their own friends and make their own decisions, but you did not prepare them for that. So whenever God is taking you through something. He's taking you through a journey that you don't feel comfortable with, that you don't like, that you feel like, God, what did I do? It's not what you did. I mean, in some cases, it could be, it could be his way of punishing you, just because, just like with our own kids, if our kids do something wrong, there's a punishment, whether they sit in a corner, you pop their hand, or you take something away, something. There's some type of repercussion in most cases. So God is the same way. But in the times when you're like, God, I'm doing everything right. Why are you not, giving me this? Or why did you take this away? Or why is this getting so hard? Those are the times that he's just pulling on you to pull on him, because sometimes we get comfortable and complacent, and we love God and we appreciate God and we appreciate the things that he does for us. But sometimes we just get lazy with our love, and we skip prayers, and we skip giving thanks, and we skip, just giving him time. And so sometimes he just needs to shake you up so that you will give him time. Just like in relationships, if you're with somebody who takes you for granted, that's kind of what we do to God and what we do to Jesus. But if you're with someone who you feel takes you for granted, eventually you'll start doing things that's going to make them like, hold up, that wasn't right. What's going on? When before, when you were trying to tell them what was going on, they didn't seem to care, because they're like, oh, you're still going to be there. We don't have to talk about this right now because, I'm watching a game, or I'm about to go get my hair done. Like just all these excuses to not have the conversation with you, or to just kind of blow you off to later, because you know what? You're not going anywhere. So why do we have to have this conversation right now? Is it really important? Is it really worth my me time, my meditation time, my self-care day? Is it really worth me giving that up to talk to you about something that we can talk about tomorrow? And we do that to God. But when you think about how you respond in those situations when you're with somebody like that, some people do go a little bit too far left, and they want to go out and go find somebody else to entertain. Or the majority of us, we shut down, we get silent, or we'll start doing things on our own. The things that we wanted to do with our partners and we used to get excited about doing with our partners, we no longer care for, or in that moment, we don't care. We don't want to ask anymore. We don't want to beg. So we just go and do it on our own. Or we may contemplate breaking up if you're just in a relationship. We may even throw out the word divorce if you're in a marriage. Like it's different things that you would do after time when you get kind of exhausted and tired of trying to persuade someone to be what you need them to be, or to be with you, or whatever the case is. So whenever you're going through hard times and you don't understand the reason, sometimes it's just God doing that to you, like, because you wasn't doing what he needs you to do. You're not doing the calling for your life. You're not praying to him, whatever it is, and you're getting complacent. He will start to shake up your world where you acknowledge him, where now you're coming back like, God, what's going on? Now you want to have a conversation. Now you want to give the thanks. Now you want to give the attention. And sometimes that's what happens. And sometimes he does that to protect us. Sometimes he would throw wrenches in the way to stop you from going down a path that he does not want you to go on, or that he needs you to slow down on. And it's nothing that you did wrong. It's not that you were not spending enough time with him. And it's not that you are being punished for anything. It's just that he sees the road ahead and he's like, no, we got to stop this part right here. Like, I can't let you go any further with this because it's not good for you, or it's not going to work, or you're going to end up heartbroken in this situation. So I have to stop it. So whenever you're going through anything, always make sure that you just pull on that faith, because sometimes we want things that God does not want for us. And sometimes we don't want things that God does want for us. And sometimes we just need to give God some more time. We need to show more appreciation, and we need to live our lives according to the way that he's calling us to live our lives, because sometimes we get a little selfish as people, as human beings. We get a little selfish and we want to do things our own way, and our own way is not the right way. So I hope that y'all understand what I'm trying to say. please don't give up on your faith. Please don't give up on God. I hear a lot of people saying that they used to believe in God or they used to be Christians, but now they started reading other things and believing in other things, or they still believe in God, but they also believe in other things, like kind of mixing different religions or different ideations. And, just confusing. Yeah, you can't change who God is. So if you're out here trying to mix religions, mix ideas, mix all this different stuff, it's just not going to work. You have to choose God. And if you choose him, you choose him, which means you just need to be obedient to him. But if you don't, he's okay too with you choosing someone else, but don't try to share. Don't try to be in relationship with him and have a side piece. You can't do that. So just keep your faith. Make sure you remember that you are loved no matter what. Be blessed, y'all. Love on yourself, love on one another, and continue to just try to get along so then you can hear God. Have that time for him set aside so then you're silent and he can talk to you. He can give you direction. But y'all let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the comment box below. All I ask is that you're polite and courteous because someone like myself is reading your messages. And we come here to get some joy, some encouragement, just to hear that there's other people like ourselves. So make sure that you're being honest, that you're being polite, and you're being kind, because we're not here to tear each other down or to make people feel foolish for what they believe or what they don't believe in. And if you want to drop some advice for people, drop the advice. You can leave your testimony there, or you can send me an email. You can leave some advice there and I can share the advice for you, or leave it just advice for me, or share a testimony just for me, or a testimony for me to share. Just let me know in the subject line if I could share the information that you're sharing with me or not, and I would do so. Or you can leave me a new topic idea, and if I think it's something that I could talk about, I definitely will talk about it, babes. Just let me know. But I love y'all. Be blessed and enjoy y'all week. We'll talk next time. Bye.